have given us all they can.
They stood up and fought to protect us in this cold and bitter land. Their trials must give us courage every moment and day. We close our eyes to take back our land. Close our eyes to stand like
The house where we live and serve justice, righteousness, and right order, where we know that it's time to stand like our people to protect our people. So good morning, Jose. And good morning to all of you on Zoom. Mama and Dina, I wish you could be here to see the beautiful way that Jose has been laid out. Thanks to Mama Dolly Way. We'll make sure we show it. A real prayer warrior. Thank you, Mama Sarita. Thank you very much. I'm full. I'm ready to go home. But we are going to have announcements, and I'm going to ask Minister Alicia if you want to come forth and share with us any announcements that you may have. Minister Alicia.
Greetings, everyone. I do not have any announcements that I have heard of, so I will open it up to see if the community has announcements. This is the time. Does anyone in the community have any announcement they would like to share?
Yes, we have one. More.
I would like to share what Minister Amati had shared with us about the ongoing ASCAC conference. It's ongoing throughout the week, and you can see that there. And I will drop the link, that URL, into the chat.
Ashe. Grand rising, everyone.
Grand rising, Mama Sam.
Oh, welcome into the spiritual house. This is absolutely beautiful. You are beautiful. And that's my announcement. No. Ileoma Day is going into its 37th year. You are its foundation.
Yes.
We work diligently to ensure that our children are being best raised
Yes.
in the traditions of our ancestors.
Yes.
And we've been blessed. We prayed for our children who were on the college tour
Yes.
for a whole week,
Yes.
visiting HBCUs, knowing that our children, we expanded some of their horizons, that these things do exist, and that it is not an option, but an opportunity
Yes.
that you can take.
Yes.
Mama Kanke went on the college tour. It's good to see her back. I'm sure she came enriched with pictures and stories and, oh my goodness, in the history. I'm up here this morning to talk to you a little bit about our bike-a-thon.
Yes.
And our bike-a-thon is May 14th. We get out in the park. We get our children to ride. We are raising money for our school, our institution. We are looking to raise $80,000,
Yes.
which is not a lot of money. Not a lot of money.
Come on.
This money goes towards scholarships,
Yes.
pays our teachers. And I want to tell you that our teachers are not walking into 3-figure salaries. Our teachers are underpaid. They don't even meet OUSD standard,
Yes.
but they're here
Yes.
every day,
Every day.
all day,
Every day.
wearing many hats,
Yes.
without question, without complaint.
Right on. Right on.
We are blessed.
Yes. Yes.
And so today, I just want to talk to you a little bit about the Bike-a-thon, and come on out and support the Bike-a-thon. We have our website that's up. We want you to donate. I will be sending it out to all of our membership, and I would like for you to pledge a dollar amount that is comfortable for you, but know that you are paying for your house of children. Ile Omade, House of the Children.
Yes.
You are donating to the foundation. You are donating to making sure that our children are in the best environment. You are donating to ensure that our teachers are going to get paid, that our teachers are going to be appreciated. And I can go on and on and on for about an hour, but I didn't even know I was coming up here to speak, and they gave me 2 minutes about 5 minutes ago. I love you. I'm looking forward to seeing you out there this summer, or it's in San Leandro, at the Heron Park. And I'm looking forward to see those that was there last year had a good time. And it's also teaching our children healthy ways of playing, which is riding bikes. So you can come out to ride a bike, you can come out to walk, or be like me, come out there to socialize. All right? So thank you very much. We'll have flyers for you, and we'll email them to you this week. Thank you.
Ashe.
And yes, thank you, Mama. You can go on the Ile Omade website for more information and to donate there as well. Skateboards, gliding, hang gliding,
Thank you, Mama Pam. Thank you to all of Ile Omade, and thank you to everybody who shared an announcement with us this morning. Next, we are going to have our affirmation led by Mama Connie.
Grand Rising family. It's Grand Rising. You can't hear that too much. It's every day we wake up, no matter what it looks like outside. It's a Grand Rising. And people get tired of me saying that. That's too bad. So I'm waiting for our affirmation to go up on the screen because I don't have it. There we go. There we go. And there are two parts. Okay, everybody stand. Okay, so as a start, we will know God's truth to be free and self-determined.
Creator, help us to remember the humanity, glory, and suffering of our ancestors, and to honor the struggle of our elders.
Let us strive to bring new vision and life to our people. Let there be peace and harmony among us, all of us.
Let us be loving, sharing, and creative. Let us work, study, and live so we may learn to be and cultivate our lives.
Grant us power, O Holy One, as we struggle to resurrect our hearts and our homeland.
Raise
Raise our children
according to the needs of our nation, with discipline, patience, devotion, and courage. We will strive to be the living models of a new direction.
Direction of our people.
Say that again. Say that again.
We will raise our children according to the
To the
needs
needs of our nation. We discipline, patience,
Devotion, and courage.
courage.
We will strive to be the living models of
A
the new
new
direction of our
of our
people.
people.
We are African people. We are children of God.
God.
Ashe. Amen. Ashe.
Ashe.
Thank you, Mama Connie. Thank you, Mama Connie. Next, we're going to do something very, very special for us and for Minister Malley. I'm going to let Minister Malley come up and introduce what he's going to do for us.
Yes.
Okay, my brother.
One of the challenges of accepting that we
come from black folks, is to accept the fact that some of our folks still don't believe we have a clock. So I have some family members who are operating very much on that very honored tradition of CP time.
Yeah.
Okay, can you hear me out there too? All right. Move right back. If we could, just a little bit. Okay, yes, so my honored Commissioner of Spiritual Life Assistance is going to give us a little bit more time to ease it back on the schedule. Is that all right with everybody?
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
So instead of the baby blessing, we're all going to be blessed by music from the sounds of Maat.
Sitting on top of this In my own spot? Okay. One moment, please. So this song, speaking to the mic when I tell you, give me just a moment, please. This song was originally written as a song for school, Casa Academy in West Oakland. I was always busy after the school and served children 6th grade through 12th grade and had a 100% graduation rate and 100% college graduation. And unfortunately, our low recession and housing bubble and all that impacted our economy and our parents' ability to support the school. And so it is now a blessed memory. But this song lives on. This was the school song.
Turn your mic up a little bit. Is it
You
got
gotta turn your
vocal on
mic
it? You
up.
need more.
Yeah.
One moment, please. This is when somebody's supposed to tell a joke. Y'all got jokes?
Tell Sankara's joke.
Where do you find a turtle with no legs?
Right where you left it.
I have no idea what's happening.
Oh, I see. No wonder. All right, how's this sound? That's better?
Yeah.
Okay. My bad. All right. Oh, yes. Yes, this is new equipment, yes. All right, here we go, y'all. I'll play a little intro and then y'all can work with me. Here you go. My family told me, my teachers told me, child, you can make it, and you can put that on me. My blessings try to deceive me, but my people need me. And I know in my heart that can't nobody but me free me. And you would think I'm just a little child, but roots are growing, strawberry and brown. I try, but there ain't no place for me. And I know it's my time. It's my destiny. My roots are so deep, and my spirit's so strong. Nobody stop me, I'm gonna sing my song. Oh, it's not gonna change. Gonna take the change. Open my eyes, you know I can't be brave. And you may think I'm just a better child, but my roots are growing, strawberry and brown. Try to act like there ain't no place for me. It's my destiny. There's a mark in me, and I carry it too. What my people's got to do. There's a mark in me, so just speaking the truth. Yes, I know it's my time. It's my
Oh,
So I just want to say, you know, I wrote that for the choir at Asa Academy, and they sang it way better than I did. That's all right. I think y'all get the point.
We don't know about that.
And let me just say that this is the inaugural service for the inaugural use of our brand new sound equipment. This is the first time it's ever been used, and Robert David is responsible for getting it in here and for making it work. Great job.
And I just want to acknowledge our musicians here,
Yes.
AJ and Will, because, you know, like these songs that we played, it's their first time hearing them. They're learning these songs on the fly. So give them props for that. They're two musicians.
Respect. Yes. I think Mama Pam said that that should be our song sung at our graduation. About
can be
that. Doesn't that sound good?
That can be done.
Yeah. So anyway, we're gonna do a couple more minutes for you. And I just want to share, yes, I did go on the Iliomel Day College tour. It was simply amazing. And it was 31 students and I think 19 adults or something like that. So it was, you know, everywhere we went, it was like, who are they? And you know, that song is like, everywhere we go, people want to know who we are. So Iliomel Day.
Did they sing that?
No, but we did do our one hand to give, one hand to receive. But here we were walking down the street in our DC Tour 24 jacket.
oh, Lord.
On the back. Wait. Black Genius, Iliomel Day. Beautiful. And then on this sleeve here are colleges that we toured. Wow. And then on the other sleeve is our DC, gotta put down so they see. Our DC Tour 24 with our red, black, and green flag. Iliomel Day on the sleeve here. And so could you imagine all these children and adults walking down the street like, you know, people's heads were like, who are they? And so it was it was an amazing tour.
I don't get this opportunity.
Hey, you gotta walk that catwalk down. Walk down to that. There you go.
And so, I think Baba Jahi will probably have more to share, but we ran into some amazing people. We had 3 alums from Howard University that came while we were there and talked to us about what Iliomel Day did for them, just helping them get to the path of where they were. Yeah. Ran into some amazing sisters at Johns Hopkins University. I mean, amazing.
Yes.
And then I forget, but we went to.
I know one thing you're gonna tell us. You're gonna tell us where we can get some of them jackets, right?
Yeah. Those were special made.
Special made.
But
However, talk to me and we can make more.
Hey, that's a revenue source for the schools.
Yeah, but anyway, everywhere we went, the people were very impressed with our students. They had to carry around notebooks and pencils and take notes and ask questions. And they asked really wonderful and informed questions. And so they were well received everywhere. And so I had it all. Can't wait till 2026 to go on the next one.
Sir Concave, did you all come to Georgia?
No,
That was last
no, we
year.
didn't. That was last year. We will be coming to Georgia in 2026. Yes. We went to DC was our base, so we went to Howard, we went to Hampton, we went to Norfolk, we went to, I'm trying to look at the jacket. Let's see, Norfolk,
Hampton, Morgan State.
Morgan State, yes, and so great tour.
And John Hopkins.
Oh, and John Hopkins, yes. talked to some sisters who said they were into neural surgery and just all kind of things, telling the students what it means to be, to move away from social media, to be disciplined enough to study, to plan your time and to be healthy in your time.
Yeah.
Take classes at times where you're the most vibrant. Don't take early morning classes if you're not an early morning person.
Right.
And there were really, it was 4 of them. It was really very impressive. And all of our tour guides, of course, it's nice to have all the young students taking the children around the colleges, and so they can really, the children really relate to them well.
Right.
Yeah. So it was wonderful. So I think it was how many tours have we had?
Since 2009.
Since 2009. So.
Yay. Thank you, Mama Kanke.
I was told I could go.
I know you. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm serving the Temptations first. Don't do it. Better give the microphone to Bob and Tom. Yes, you guys.
We're cutting your head off.
Oh, he's ready.
You guys come.
Okay. Oh, I thought you were gonna sing, brother.
That's a pretty good lead-in. Yeah. I'm ready. Come on.
I wouldn't even pretend to do a lead-in on a song. But now if they played the music really loud, but what I do want to do is bring you to what I believe is a very special moment. My family, we've been fortunate that we have such an extensive, I come from 6 sisters.
Yes.
And then I also have 2 brothers. So that means you have a lot of nieces and nephews, a whole bunch of them. And today we're kind of represented because the unusual part of our family is that we saw a large group of them before we got here. My grandparents' generation had 16 on one side and 11 on the other side. And they produced my cousin, George. And we ended up, because of how big our families were, 2 sets of brothers and sisters married 2 sets of brothers and sisters. So, and one of the sets was twins. Right. And my cousin George is a cousin there's a double cousin. Because the Randolphs and the Caheys intermarried and then moved out this way and stopped off in Galveston when we were outside of New Orleans at first.
Right.
We also left some folks in New Iberia and Lafayette and Monroe. And then there was some people from Houston, which is on my mother's grandfather's side, who also merged with the folks in Galveston. And then they all during World War II started heading out here for jobs.
Okay.
So to just share with you the importance of family and understanding what family really is. And it's more than just a collection of people, but it's a collection of relationships. Relationships.
That's right.
And most of you all already know a lot about that because that's how you have come to a point where you understand the importance and the meaning of why we come together. Why do we fellowship? Because with our families, as soon as you invited a few of them over, we had an instant party.
Right.
Because that was, all you had to do is walk through the door. There's a bunch of us all the time. And now the next generation, which for me is the 4th generation removed from my line, the 5th line from my older cousin's line, and the 6th line from the still surviving folks we have still here. 6 lines of descendants. And this line has found it important to honor their new child in the presence of you all
Yeah.
So you all are very special to me, as well as my cousin, who is now kind of our patriarch. He hates hearing that, but that's what happens when you become 80. You older than everybody else. See, I try to spare you. 82.
That's right.
He wants us 2 years.
That's right. Give him
Give me all of it.
That's right.
Yeah, I give us 2 years. So we have that strain represented, and we have the newest strain represented.
Yeah.
And so I want to call my nephew and the baby's mother up, and then I want to turn part of the ceremony over to Minister Imhotep, who is graciously going to support my family as he has done when we had our homegoing. Now he's going to represent us in the entry of a new life in our family. Okay?
Thank you, Minister Maat. Minister Malley. Oh, what a great day.
Yes.
What a beautiful, beautifully decorated sanctuary today. It's like going to heaven alive.
Well,
Sisters and brothers, we're an honored guest. We're gathered here today for a very special event in the history of this family, community, and our nation, the naming and blessing of this beautiful baby girl. That's right. She knows we're talking about it. Children are the crops growing in the fields to yield the harvest on which the nation has to sustain itself.
Yeah.
They are the pillars on which the foundation of the nation's future is built.
Yeah.
They are the roots of the national tree, which gives us the fruits of work, worship, and wisdom to the next generation. Every human being has 4 birthdays. That's right. Want to say something? So the first is when they emerge from their mother's womb. The second is when they begin their spiritual study that leads them from darkness to light. The third is when they have gained wisdom and have mastered the discipline for achieving self-realization. And the last is when they realize their true identity and merge with the universal absolute. It is the duty of the family, the community, to aid the child in this endeavor. If the child is to see negativity, let her not see it from us. Now, in Stolen Legacies, we have a thing that's called the 9 parts of the soul. And they mention this thing called the Ren. Let me digress a little bit. I don't like when they talk about Karen. You know, like I don't like when they denigrate that name, because for me, it's Ka-Ren. You're saying spirit name. So the Ren, or the name, is the essential attribute for the preservation of a being. Our ancestors along the Nile believed that in the absence of a name, an individual ceased to exist. And they taught that the soul has 9 parts whose unity is so complete that even the Ren, or the name, is an essential attribute, since without it, it cannot exist. Let me just give a few scriptures for our parents. What a beautiful couple.
Yes.
yeah,
Good looking group here. So in the book of Anai, number 8, it says, if God grants you children, may the heart of their father and mother know them. Whoever hungers, let them be satisfied in the house of their mother and father. Let them find there a wall which protects them. Be not without a generous heart, for it is God that gives you wealth. And in the book of Anai, number 8, says, double gift your mother gave you, and care for her as she cared for you. She bore a heavy burden in you and did not abandon you. When she brought you forth after your months, she was still bound closely to you. That's right. For her breasts were still in your mouth for 3 years. That was back in the day. While you grew, she cleaned your filth without disgust in her heart, without saying, oh, what can I do? She placed you in school to be educated and came there daily on your behalf with bread and beer for your teacher. Thus, when you become a young man or young woman and marry, establish your house and lose not sight of your own childhood. Raise your children as your mother did you. Do not let her find fault with you, lest she raise her hands to God against you, and God hear her complaints and punish you. Okay, just a couple more. This is from Ptah-hotep, number 21. If a son or daughter accept the righteous teachings of their parents, none of their plans will go wrong. Teach your children then to be those who hear well. They will be valued by those of weight and substance, and their speech will be informed by what they have heard. Respected are those who listen well. They will excel and their deeds will distinguish them. But failure follows those who hear not. The wise wake early in order to establish themselves, but fools always fail to rise at the opportune time. Okay, one more. Number 5, Ptah-hotep says, if you are parents of worth and wisdom, train your children that they will be pleasing to God. And if they do what is right, following your example and handle your affairs as they should, do for them all that is good, for they are begotten of your own heart and soul. Therefore, separate not your heart from them. But if they fail to follow your course or oppose your will, reject all counsel, and set their mouth in motion with vile words, drive them away. For they are not your children and are not born for you. Those who are guided do not go wrong, but those who willfully lose their way will not find the straight course. And you parents, have you heard the wisdom of our ancestors? And do you pledge now to hold that wisdom in the raising of your child? Thanks. I would like for Minister Malley to join us. This tradition goes all the way back to the Galindo Street days. And we pulled this silver spoon out of the, well, my wife knew where it was. I don't know where anything is, especially if it's low. Yeah, I wouldn't have. And so this goes back at least 33 years. And so now I'm going to ask Minister to give, let's stand. Let's give her the bitter first. Yes. And may this be the most bitter thing that happens in your life.
Yes.
She's not fazed by it. And then we got some maple syrup. She's gonna like it.
She do a job. Ready?
Oh, yeah. Let me taste that first.
Yeah, yeah. Trust me. Fool me once.
She did good.
So let us introduce to the community my grandniece, Ariel Arujo.
All right, sisters and brothers, just 6 months. Just one more thing as we're standing. This is a call and response, and this is from a prayer. It's called The Mother Prays, but I'd like for us all to recite it as we close. Thank you, dear Lord,
Thank you, Lord.
for the service you've allotted me,
For the service you've allotted me.
bringing up this messenger of your glory.
Bring up this messenger of your glory.
Give me the wisdom,
Give me the wisdom,
the earnestness,
the earnestness,
and the faith
and the faith
to guide the footsteps of this child
to guide the footsteps of this child
towards your feet,
towards your feet,
along the footprints you have left on earth and in heaven.
along the footprints you have left on earth and in heaven.
Protect me from impurity,
Protect them from impurity,
so that I may not tarnish the purity of the child.
so I may not tarnish the purity of the child.
Award to me the intelligence to recognize you
Award to me the intelligence to recognize you.
in every gesture of her hands,
Every gesture of her hands,
in every smile that gleams on her lips,
every smile that gleams on her lips,
in every throb of her heart.
and every thought of her.
Let me adore you in this child.
Let me adore you in the child.
Let me serve you in this image of yours. Let me be rewarded with your presence in this, your own divine essence.
Your own divine essence.
See people.
Amen. Ashe. Amen.
Amen.
Ashe.
Ashe.
Amen.
Amen.
You
Ashe.
can see the people. Oh, no, I got you.
I need to see the people on the side.
Yeah. Like this.
Scroll down and they can see. They see Connie's camera. Get us up back.
You baby.
Ashe, ashe, ashe.
I don't see. Oh,
Okay, so this is a morning of firsts. Well, not that this was the first baby blessing that we've had, but it's the first in a long, long time. Thank you, Brother Minister Melvin. We see the emotions flowing out of you. That's good. Thank you, baby. We're having the inaugural run of our new sound equipment. Thank you, Baba David. And we have another first coming up for me. This is the first time that I have ever seen the historical tribute done from the rear of the sanctuary. So we're going to do something a little different this morning, all right? And you'll see that people have talked about how decorated the sanctuary is. It's because Mama Thandiwe and her team came in yesterday and prepared the place, made it look beautiful, including Mama Keisha. Came in yesterday, made it look beautiful. So we're going to kind of, I think you're scrolling now, so you can kind of see the back. And we have to make one little adjustment here. So give me a couple minutes.
Pin it, right? I said pin it, right?
Not this one.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Yeah, like this.
All right. So I have really been looking forward to this historical tribute for weeks once I found out what it was going to be about. Here's Mama Thandiwe and her historical tribute.
Hello, family.
Hello.
How are you?
Johnson Ed.
Mamas and the papas that's always in the kitchen cooking for us. So, yeah, I'll start off with a big thank you to, especially my mother. She was always in the kitchen. So, the topic of discussion is food from Africa, to America. How did African food influence what we know today as American cuisine? So we have an array of dishes here. Let's start with jollof rice. So we have some jollof rice here. My African sister cooked that for me, so I'm excited to taste it. It smells delicious. So let me tell you a little bit about jollof rice. It's a tomato-based dish. And you could have it with meat, or you could have it with an array of vegetables. You could, cook it at your choice. Today she cooked it with chicken, and then we have the vegan version without chicken. Jollof rice originated in Senegal, and it's extremely popular in West Africa. There are different varieties all across West Africa. As I was doing my research on jollof rice, there's a huge competition throughout the Western countries of the continent about who cooks the best jollof rice. So that's a heated topic in discussion. But anyway, it's a tomato-based rice, and it has tomatoes, onions, and peppers, and it is indigenous to West Africa. But it was introduced to the Europeans through travel and trade as early as the 1500s. Rice is as much African as Asian. Rice is as much African as it is Asian. Okay. There are two species of rice, Orza, glabrama. That's Glaberrima. So those two species, those are the two species in the world, and they're cultivated in West Africa. A variety of rices also. Let's see. What is the other rice that I have? I have jambalaya. And jambalaya is, I would say, like the sister to jollof rice. So our African brothers and sisters were brought here, and they remembered what they ate, right? They didn't necessarily have it here when they came. So guess what happened? We're creative beings, right? So we have some jambalaya here that I cooked, and jambalaya again is a tomato-based dish. And I have celery and bell pepper and onions, and this one's cooked with sausage and chicken. So that's Mama Tanduwe's jambalaya. Next, we have beans on the menu. What Black people don't eat beans? So we got some red beans here. Yeah, red beans. I'm from Louisiana, and red beans were usually cooked every Monday in Louisiana. And there's two reasons. One is that the day before on that Sunday, whatever salt pork you used, or if you cooked a ham on Sunday, you automatically going to cook some beans on Monday, because you're putting the bone of the ham in your beans. And then there's also something about wash day on Mondays. It's usually wash day on Mondays. So let's read about wash day. It's been said that after, okay, this is another one. So with wash day, the water that you use, the coals that you use to heat your water to wash your clothes, you could also use those same, the coals to slow cook your red beans. So red beans was also popular and it was called wash day. But then there's also another thing that's going on with red beans. It's been said that after the Haitian Revolution ended in 1804, free people of color from Haiti sought refuge in New Orleans, bringing with them and others, free people of color and others. And they sought refuge in New Orleans, and then they brought with them enslaved Africans. New Orleans was introduced to red beans through that avenue as well. So what other beans do we have? We have black-eyed peas. Black-eyed peas. So our African brothers and sisters brought us black-eyed peas too. Let's see. Black-eyed peas were brought by enslaved Africans in the 1600s as they were transported to America. That sounds so pleasant. That's not true, y'all. West Africans have long considered black-eyed peas a good luck charm that wards off evil spirits. They serve black-eyed peas on holidays and birthdays. So what happens to us Africans in America with black-eyed peas? So we cook black-eyed peas on New Year's, right? That's what we do. And we cook them to bring us good luck throughout the year. So I see a trend going on, y'all. What's going on? Our ancestors really left their mark on us, right? I haven't been to Africa, but I always say Africa's in me. So even doing this research, I just couldn't believe what I was finding and how it resonated with me. And it was just close to my family and their traditions and customs. So let's go. What's the next thing? We're talking about greens now.
Come on now.
So these are Mama Keisha's greens. So greens are a signature ingredient of the foodways of Africa and the diaspora. In West Africa, there are over 150 indigenous species of edible greens. Over 150. Oh my goodness. Women from the transatlantic slave trade experimented with leafy plants when they arrived here. They found greens similar to their native land. Again, they were looking for something that was familiar and as of comfort to them. And bitter leaf greens of West Africa, Africans brought mustard greens and collards, but they were accustomed to the bitter leaf green. We use food as medicine, right? And we also use it as nourishment. So get your greens, right? Right, Mama? Where are you? Okay, what else we have on this table? We have some gumbo. Yes, we have some gumbo. I don't want to put my sleeve in it, but we have some gumbo. So we got some shrimp and sausage and chicken gumbo here. My mother used to say when we just cooked shrimp and sausage gumbo, that was a make-do gumbo because it didn't have any seafood in it. So okra is another name for gumbo. Did anyone know that? Yeah. Okra. Okra is another name for gumbo. And callaloo and gumbo are African words for African ingredients that leave the dishes their culinary definition. So gumbo and callaloo. Okay. Gumbo is my favorite dish. So when I would hit the door and my mother was making a roux for gumbo, boy, I knew some good eating was coming. So I absolutely love gumbo. And I think my son is right there with me too. Because when I'm making the roux, he gets really excited. So what else do we have here? We got some fufu, y'all. Fufu. My African sister dropped this off this morning. So I have never eaten fufu, but I'm looking forward to that. So it's made by boiling starchy tubers in water until soft and then pounding them into a pulp. Then it becomes sticky and thick. It looks like mashed potatoes, but it has a thicker consistency than mashed potatoes. And fufu is usually eaten with stews and vegetables. So we have some greens that we could gladly eat that fufu with and some vegetables. And so I would say my okra sakatash here has some sakatash. So we could use the fufu to eat the sakatash too. So okra is extremely popular on the continent and here in US. Did you say everywhere, Mama? Yeah. Many people push back on okra because of the slime, but you can cook the slime out. There's no slime here, y'all. So I have stewed tomatoes, okra, onions, garlic, and corn, whole kernel corn. So that's the sakatash. What's next?
Yeah.
We don't even have it on the table. How?
Yeah.
Okay, I got some yams in the kitchen, yeah. Yeah, we have some, yeah, you can give my yams for me, please. So I have yams. What's the difference between yams and sweet potatoes?
Big difference.
Does anyone know?
Color.
Oh, sweet potatoes, sweet yams, huh? Okay. Well, yams is indigenous to Africa. Oh, thank you. Oh, wow, they smell good. Baba started to say he'll test them. And I did those this morning. I'm ready for them. So what did I say? Yams, they're indigenous to Africa. And most often, it's an extremely popular meal. And most often, I guess we would say it's cooked like a potato. And it does not have the sweetness that we're accustomed to with sweet potatoes. But when our African brothers and sisters came, they were looking for the yam, y'all, but they couldn't find the yam. But they found the sweet potato. And guess what they called the sweet potato? A yam, because that's what they were accustomed to. So the sweet potato became their yam and confused all of us after that. But again, they found something that was similar to what they know in, on their land and in their country. So I will never, no, I shouldn't say that. I'm going to try not to call a sweet potato a yam anymore, but I'm so accustomed to saying candied yams. And I got some candied sweet potatoes today. I can't even say that, right? Yeah, say it right. Okay, well, next I'm going to call up an extremely special person to introduce her meal. Mama Keisha, where are you?
Right.
Mama Keisha has some healing soup that she's been. You see it? Yeah. Food as medicine. So that's why I'm here. My great grandmother, Dinah Bowman, must have been a healer from her Cherokee mother and her Ghana father, because she was a healer. And after her daughter, my grandmother, passed away, she raised my mother. My mother was 8 months old. And so Dinah Bowman directly, I think, must have given me the ability to make a healing soup. And I've made a little booklet with information. I have a picture of her that my sister and my cousin put together. So there's a picture of her on. But the healing soup is very simple. It's very simple, but it works. And when I first made it and people were saying, thank you, I thought, what is this? But then I started thinking about, and I wrote about one, the time when I was a kid and kids would fall down and I would just rub their leg or something and they'd say, oh, thank you. Well, after I grew up, I realized, because it was a white girl actually who said to me, "You've got healing hands." So today I'm honoring my great grandmother, Dinah Bowman, because all the people who've been healed by it. I think, Father Damon, did you get some healing? He had healing soup when he had COVID. And after the Kwanzaa at Babo Studies, I came home, I was sick. I got up and I made healing soup. And then some other people brought me soup too. And, you know, food as medicine. Yeah. So, ashe, and thank all the ancestors for the medicine that we have every day when we don't drink those sodas and all that other. There's a recipe on the back. It's very simple. It's a little bit of, well, so I don't know how to measure. I'm sorry. It's just so. Somebody. Carrots, potatoes, onion, garlic, and then there is a container of, just before the person gets in bed, finished, just after they finish, you get the soup ready, you put in some red pepper. But they have to put their own red pepper in. You can't do it for them because we all have different tolerance. And then they get into bed. And it works. Anyway, the recipe is on the back of a little booklet, and I asked her to do the soup and just tell me the ingredients and a little bit about the soup. And look what this woman did. Volunteer move. Give him a close up. That's your great grandmother? My great grandma, Dinah Bowman. Thank you. That's beautiful. Thank you, Mama. I really appreciate that. Yeah. So I want to shout out before we end this, shout out again to the mamas and the babas that's always in the kitchen cooking and feeding us with all of that love. Mama Rose, right? I thank you, Mama Rose. You know, I'm in your kitchen, Mama Rose. Thank you so much. Thank you for feeding all of the students, and I'm sure the administrators and teachers. Thank you so much. Again, thank you, Mama Keisha. Thank you. I want to thank my brothers. I have two brothers that Mama taught them well. They get down. I mean, I remember when she would leave for about a month going to Louisiana, my brothers fed me well. So, and one of them is an ancestor right now, and he not only fed me, he combed my hair and everything. So, that's wonderful. Teach your boys how to cook, y'all.
Thank you.
Yeah. And last but not least, again, I'm gonna go back to my mama. She was always in the kitchen. So I could do 12 hours in the kitchen and it's more like therapy than work. And I got it from my mama. Yeah. And you know what we do, we feed the hungry in East Palo Alto and surrounding areas. So food is an integral part of my life, and it's not only eaten during celebrations, it's every chance we get, midnight snacks, all of that. So I have been really, really thankful of the knowledge that I received and the awareness of just doing this research and just looking. It wasn't research, it was having fun with different foods, but it connected back to the continent and that made me feel so good. So that answered a lot of questions, but it just made me feel good that there's still a connection and we need that. We really need that. We need to know where we're from and still connect to where we're from. So thank you guys. And I'm sorry, Zoom world, that you're not here to eat. We have tons of food. So we're feeding the sanctuary, but I'm sure we're going to be feeding the brothers and sisters outside of the sanctuary because we got food for about 150 people. And it's maybe like 25, 30 up in here, if that much. So we got some food. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
All right, thank you, Mama Thandiwe. Thank you. Now she did some shouts out. She mentioned her brothers, and I want to do a shout out to her sister Sylvia, who was here all day yesterday and all morning this morning. Her son Valendamu, and everybody. Yeah, and others that are in the.
Thank you for my team for even helping me decorate. Thank you for all of my team. You know, I have the vision and I'm blessed to have family and friends to say, okay, what do you want to do? When you want to do it? We were in here 5 hours yesterday. We were here 5 hours because those chair covers needed ironing. And we ironed each one of them. And then we decorated the tables. Wow. And I went back home and cooked gumbo and yams and chicken and everything like that. So yeah, we took turns sleeping. So hey, they are the wind beneath my wings, and I couldn't do it without my team. Thank you.
All right. And so I'm looking at my favorite. There's some cornbread. I guess there's some muffins up in here. She didn't mention that. And let me just say to each of you this morning who woke up and thought about coming here and didn't come, you're missing it. Y'all are missing it, right? Because I talked earlier about first, and we're going to have another first a little later on. This is the first time we'll ever eat historical tribute. So thank you, Mama. Anyway, I'm going to ask Valendamu to just kind of turn around and show the table. The way that they have been decorated, and come around front and show the decorations on the front. Yes, and I'm gonna ask in a minute Baba Katabasi to come up and help us pay our bills with our litany of sacrifice. So those of you, so Baba Jeff and Baba Bill, get ready to put our litany up. And again, let's have a big hand for Mama Thandiwe. Okay, and now let me sacrifice.
Good morning, good afternoon, Wosei community. It's indeed a pleasure to be here this morning, to be a part of the festivities and things that have been brought together for this day. I was particularly struck by the baby blessings and such youth in the midst of our seniorhood, shall we say. So it was a beautiful thing seeing the young child come into the world and having loved ones around her as she begins to grow and to make her way. The historical tribute by Sister Thunderway and her crew was magnificent. I wish you all could see the arrangement on the chairs and the tables and everything. It was a wonderful exhibition. My name is Carter Bazi, and I'm here to lead you in the litany of sacrifice. The litany of sacrifice offers us the opportunity to return a portion of that which we've earned for the week back to the Wose community. Be that in Oakland, California, or in Sacramento, California. You know, we're all here doing this work of restoring our people. And such work requires support, and that support ideally should come from ourselves. Dr. Chancellor Williams, in his historic and noted book, The Destruction of Black Civilization, a lot of people don't go all the way to the end of that book, and they don't read the master plan that Dr. Williams put in there. And he was very pointed, he was very focused. He said that he wanted to put this plan in place because historians like himself, more so than just regular people, that had the opportunity to go out to do the research, to see with their own eyes, and out of that, to gather a summary, a culmination of all this knowledge and events. And he wanted it to never to be said that those that had the expertise and the knowledge and awareness kept their mouths shut and stepped aside. So thus we have the 10-point master plan. And one of the components of that master plan is the supporting of ourselves. And he was very focused on that aspect, because without us supporting ourselves and we depending upon others to support us, we can't do the work that we want to do and in the way that we choose to pursue that. So, and I will just say on a slight slide bar, because of the trip of the school, Ile Day. And I had the occasion a couple of weeks ago to be approached by a local minister across the street at Amos Temple. And he came and he presented me with an anonymous donation. Yeah, the people from their congregation, they didn't want any recognition, but they saw what was happening here. You know, the kids and on the playground every day playing, and so the person was struck by that and presented us with a donation anonymously. And so I'm sure that Minister Malley and others will be following up with them to reflect our gratefulness for that. And now to the litany of sacrifice. It begins, save us, O Holy One, by your name, vindicate us by your might. Hear our prayer, divine protector. Listen to the words of my mouth. How can we repay the Holy One for the gifts that have been given to us? We will lift up the cup of salvation and call upon the God of our ancestors. We will fulfill our vows to our Creator in the presence of all our people. Gladly we bring our sacrifices to you. We will praise your name, O Lord God, for His good. Unity. We shall strive to maintain unity in the family, community, nation, and race.
Self-determination.
We shall define their name, create, and speak for ourselves.
Collective work and responsibility. We shall build and maintain our communities together. Our brothers and sisters, problems shall be ours to solve together.
We shall allow cooperative economics. Together we shall build and maintain our own businesses and together their profit.
We shall make our collective vocation the building and development of our community and the restoration of our traditional greatness.
Creativity. We shall do as much as we can in any way we can to leave our community more beautiful and beneficial than what we inherited.
Thank you. We will believe with our hearts, we will believe with all of our hearts in our God, our people,
And in the righteousness and victory of our struggle.
The baskets are moving amongst the city funds to deposit a contribution. Those on the Zoom world, you can send your contributions to the Los Community Oakland, 8924 Holly Street, Oakland, California, 94621. You can mail to Sacramento, Post Office Box 5271, Sacramento, California, 95817. You can go to the respective websites, and there's a link there where you can make a donation. So a lot of different ways for you to make a donation to contribute to this work. It's in a lot of ways it's hard work, and so there's a need for all of us to put our shoulder to the wall, so to speak. And so with that being said, and with the contributions to our basket being done, I will take just a few moments to have a short prayer over these contributions. O Holy One, Divine Creator, Ancestor Spirits, forces seen and unseen, known and unknown, but contribute and sustain this creation. O Holy One, we thank you for these contributions. We thank you for each and every one that took the time to contribute to this work. We thank those who wanted to contribute but were not able to because they lacked the financial means. And we pray for their betterment, that they will be able to contribute at some point. We thank those that have contributed their time, those that have contributed their talent, all to bring this service to you, our viewing and listening audience. There are many things for us to be thankful for on this day, on this beautiful and glorious day. It was a very nice day coming in. And so we just thank you, Holy One, for our lives, and we thank you for leading us to this place called Will Say. And this is my prayer. Ashe, Ashe, Amin Ra.
Thank you, Baba Katabasi. We're running a little long, so I'm supposed to be quick, but I want to do two quick things. Well, two things. I'm up here to do two things. The first is Mama Akanke asked me to mention that on the tour, on the college tour that they just completed with the elite Omade students, that they stopped by to see Minister Makalisi in Virginia, or Minister Makalisi came to see them. Yeah, and they also went by Sugar D's house in Hampton. Sugar D lives around the corner, and a walking distance of Hampton University. So they went by to see Sugar D. So they had a great tour. Okay. The other thing I have to do is introduce our speaker this morning, and there's no way that I can do that quickly. The first time I laid eyes on this brother, some 30 plus, maybe 40 years ago, I heard him called Young Brother Imhotep. That was many moons ago. I was a little younger myself then, but we both have kind of grayed since then. Okay? But anyway, but before I bring the brother up, I need to say that I love this brother. Right? And I respect this brother. I respect the brother's life. He's a family man, raised 2 upstanding children, has a bride at home that's happy. that in and of itself is an achievement, right? But I respect the brother's life. I respect the brother's work. I respect the brother's commitment to not just to the Wosay community, but to our people, to African people at large.
Yes.
I respect the brother's commitment, right?
Yes.
And so it's an honor to be able, let me say, Wosay has existed for over 40 years.
Yes.
And in that time, there have been 4 lead ministers, right? I disagree with each of them. We've had our problems, including the new one, Minister Malley. But I always know that our disagreements are about what's best for our people and what's best for this community, right? And those disagreements only strengthen the relationships and the bonds that we have with each other.
Yeah.
So let's stand on our feet and welcome this brother who has been a part of Wosay since the beginning, right? And without him, there would be no Wosay today. Brother Minister Imhotep.
All right. Much love.
I asked, please be seated. I asked Sister Zarita to read the Freedom Writings, and if she would just come. We're
Glad to have her in the house.
I'm not going to be long. Don't believe a minister.
As long as you teach good, it's all right. Definitions of
Oh, Wosay is the place that lifts our hearts and minds.
Yes.
Restores us to a people.
Yes.
God divine. And as we prepare to hear this God man, Minister Imhotep Akebulon, what a joy.
Yes.
What a joy. I just want to read a scripture from, can you hear me? Okay, from the Hosea, and who with his authoritative utterance, which he's coming with, Sia, exceptional insight.
Yes.
Oh, he's gonna bring it.
Yeah.
From the book of wise instruction, the book of Keti, and using the timeline of Asar Asa Hilliard. This scripture is from the New Kingdom, and which is the 11th, 12th dynasty, 2040 to 1784 BCE. And we know as an African people, as we learn our story, that timeline is going to change. We thank our Asar Asa Hilliard for his work. And I know he would he said, if you knew who you are, if you knew who you are, we are something. And so the word says, stanza 1, be skilled in speech. Oh, so that you will succeed. Come on and bring that success story, minister. The tongue of a man, of a woman, is the sword is his sword, her sword. An effective speech is stronger than all fighting. None can overcome the skillful. A wise person is a school for the nobles.
Yes.
And those who share of his, her knowledge do not attack him. No evil takes place when Minister Imhotep is near. Truth comes to him in its essential form. Huh. Shaped in the sayings of the ancestors. Oh, let us prepare our hearts, our minds to receive Minister Imhotep Akebula.
Right. Is this one on?
Press the button.
Yeah. I'm in Roz the helmsman who knows the waters well. He is the rudder for the weak. I take not the powerful as my protector. I depend not on those with wealth, for my wealth is in the strength of my Lord. My Lord is mighty and none are strong but he. Our freedom riding, do not hurl a lance. Take it down low. You know I love that music, but I can't talk and skank at the same time. No, let's hit that bass line one more time. All right. Do not hurl a lance if you cannot aim it correctly.
Okay.
Do not do evil to a person and thus cause another to do it to you.
Yes.
Let your generosity reach one who needs it. Do not be stingy, for wealth is no real security. Mama Rose, we went over this on Thursday. I mentioned this, Mama Rose. We said, speak truth to everyone, let it cling to your speech. You know, she said, if you don't have anything good to say, just don't say that. You know, just keep it quiet. Do not do to a person what you dislike and thus cause another to do it to you also. These are just basic. Cat was in that class. There is no good deed except the good deed that is done for the one who needs it. These are just basic statements. This is the main one. Those who struggle together with the people of their town, their community, their nation, will rejoice in victory with them. Okay, our subject is Ankomo Untuaso, united hearts, understanding and agreement. Thank you. Next slide. Is this Bill or Jeff? I'm going to talk about hosts today. Yeah, that was supposed to be a joke. Isn't it something that the glyph for love is a farming tool?
Wow, work.
It means in order to love someone, in order to love Black people,
Gotta cultivate that.
you gotta work it. You gotta work with them, and you have to cultivate. And family, community, nation.
Yes.
Yes.
You gotta work with them.
Next slide. See, and this is how you say love, myrrh,
Mer.
myrrh, or Mary. That's probably where Mary comes from. Means beloved.
Mm.
And there's two myrrhs. So not to be confused. So sometimes they write myrrh to mean pyramid. I've been using this term per netter. Per means house. Netter is the divine force. So these are the glyphs. These are just the basic glyphs that you know. So isn't it interesting that they use these glyphs? Yeah, you got to work at it. If you're in a marriage, you got to work at it. When you're raising your children, you got to. Oh, yes, you do. Yeah. Even your friends. You know, you have to work at it. Next. Thank you. Who's ever doing it? Thanks. See, here again, that's how you would write it. You know, Mary Itu. I love you. Mary Itu. Next. There it is again. Mary Itu. That this quail chick can be a W or a U. Okay. And this mouth is an R. So Mary E2, this is a T. I love you. All right, next. Do not hurl a lance if you can't aim it correctly. Don't. Sometimes we aim. This happens in real life. We're in a gun culture.
Yeah, that's right.
And sometimes it don't get aimed correctly.
Come on now.
Do not hurl a lance if you cannot aim it. Do not do evil to a person and thus cause another to do it to you. That the person that you do evil to may not do nothing to you. It might be coming from another direction.
Yeah.
Don't be stingy. Let your generosity reach ones who needs it.
See?
Doesn't do any good to necessarily. I like what Mama Dondiway is doing. Yeah. She feeds people that don't have the ability to feed themselves.
Okay.
Don't be stingy, for wealth is no real security.
Yeah.
I'm not going to call his name, but you know who we talking about.
I share.
Do not do to a person what you dislike and thus cause another to do it to you. There is no good deed except the good deed is one who needs it. Yeah. And those who struggle together with the people of their town, the people of their village, the people of the community will rejoice in the victory with them.
Yeah. Next.
So this scripture comes from, this is a little background. So if you look in the Hosea, well, the main resources are coming from ancient Egyptian literature by Miriam Lictium, volumes 1, 2, and 3. And this, in the book of Shoshonkhi, it's found, oddly enough, in the British Museum. You know, the pyramids would be in the British Museum if they could find a way to get them there. All right, I'm not going to spend a lot of time. So, Kat, you asked me, you know, what is the late period? It's the Ptolemaic period. Ptolemaic period. Well, so just briefly, I'm not going to give the years because there's a lot of disagreement. But you have pre-dynastic, Old Kingdom, 1st through 6th dynasty, New Kingdom, Middle Kingdom, 7th through 12th. You have a Hyksos period from 13th through 17th, and then you have a liberation coming from the south that's going beginning at the 17th and goes all the way to the 24th period and 24th dynasty. And then you go to a Nubian Renaissance, which is the 25th dynasty, a few dynasties after that, and then you have Assyrian conquest, Persian conquest, Greek conquest. And the Greek conquest is supposed to take place around 333 or 332 BC. And this is the time that they found this handwritten text, but it could be much older. So, next slide, please. Thanks. Now here, well, so what's going on? How did these get written? So Akshay goes to see one of his partners, you know, and as he goes there, his friend is about to become the chief physician, but he's involved in a plot to overthrow the king.
He's good. He's good.
And so Akshay said, "Hey man, don't do that." You know, and then a servant overhears them, and then, okay, the people that's plotting, they get executed.
Mm-hmm.
And Akshay, he gets put in prison because he didn't tell the I don't know, I keep going back and forth. So people usually know it as Pharaoh, but that's Greek or you know, it's really per.
Come on, teach.
Per. So he didn't tell the per, and so they put him in prison. And so he said this last sentence, it says, languishing in prison, he composes the instruction for the benefit of his youngest son. You know, I gotta let somebody know some truths.
Come on.
That's what the book of Akshay is about.
All right.
All right, next. I'm trying to, have I beat this to death yet? All right, let's go on to the next slide. Thank you. Now, here, I want to just say a little about the Ndinkra. And here, I'm asking Minister Malley to stand.
You got it all
He's a walk. Turn around. Do a Pamela. He's got. So you have these Ndinkra symbols, and you know, so all these symbols mean something. You know, each one means something. So they're visual symbols. They're originally created by the Ashanti people. They serve to communicate deep truths, wisdom, and knowledge using imagery. Where have we heard that before? Where have we come across that before in African history? Next slide, please. And so here you can see the connection. Look at Bill or Jeff. Can you enlarge this one? Can you? Okay, it's Jeff. Thanks, Jeff. Let's see. Yeah, and scroll down or up. Yeah, you're going the right way. And then come over. I think if you move this over, yeah, and then come up. Well, you know what, Jeff? Just leave it there. I'm just going to show you. See the connection? See, this is somebody's mummy, and it looks like Kente cloth.
Right.
You know. Okay, Jeff, can you make it go back to the original size? Thank you. See, and here's a statue. He's got the same thing that this brother, a Khan brother has on. Look at these sisters. One has got that 5,000-year-old look, and then one today. They're wearing the same thing. We have a lot more in common with the West Africans And you know, what does it say in 2000? Beware of the destroyers. They cut up all kind of stuff. They cut the hand itself off, you know, saying each fallen piece is different from eyes, ears, entrails. So they want to keep us split up. You know, East Africans don't have anything to do with West Africans, don't have anything to do with South Africans. But when you see 42 CPATs or nomes or provinces, that's talking about 42 tribes.
Come on now.
That's why the people look different. Some people look West Africa, some people look East Africa, some people look South Africa. Some of them are wearing South African stuff. I'm sorry I didn't come here to preach today. Next slide. All right. So this is the book that you need to get. Well, these are two books. So the book, the origin of the word Amen. Now we had this brother on, Salim Faraji. It's actually it has one of your names in it. Osi, O Kwame Osi, Jahi Issa, Dr. Jahi Issa, and Dr. Salim Faraji. And then Dr. Salim, we had him on Black Knowledge Matters. He wrote this book, The Roots of Nubian Christianity Uncovered. Next slide, please. So what I'm trying to show is this. The place that's called Elmina is really originally called Amena. Elmina is a Portuguese corruption of Amena. Next slide. See, and they went through this porthole. It wasn't always desert. And this is how they went back and forth. Next slide. So what's being said here is this. Look, Elmina, where many of us left from, there's 36. Let's see. You know, out of the 42 slave ports, there's 36 was located in Ghana. And most of the people left out of Elmina. You know what they were singing? A version of Amen. This is documented. So that's all. So how many have seen that movie? It's called Lilies of the Field. It's got Sidney Poitier. Sidney Poitier was tone deaf. He's not singing that. Jester Hairston is singing in that.
Okay.
And Jester Hairston, he's that old man, and that's my mama in the barbershop, and he's also in it was a show called Amen. Yeah. You know, and he's like the deacon. That's Jester Hairston. Look him up. He's a great man in our history. And that song, Amen, that's what we were singing. That was like one of the last songs that we sang when we left. Next slide, please.
Okay. Teach good.
I'm going to skip all that. Go ahead. Thanks. Next one. And next. Thanks. Thank you. All right. So here, this is why I'm using. You know, aren't you guys comedic or commission? Why are you bringing in this West African stuff? Because it's all connected. And the symbol that we use, look, Ankoma Untoso. It means symbol of understanding, agreement, is hearts united together. Hearts united together. That's what we are. You know, I came here from Sacramento. You know, we have people here from on this Zoom that's in Georgia, that's in Virginia, that's in DC, That's, you know, it's really not, okay, we're just in different locations, but we are really one community.
Yes.
Yes.
One people. Next slide. So here it means understanding, agreement, togetherness, unity in thought and deed. The meaning, joined or united hearts. So this symbol is important for today's society in this country. They're talking about Ghana, but this really applies to everybody. This symbol is important for today's society in this country because it represents the unity of people from different cultures, ethnic backgrounds, united, understanding, and respecting each other, living in harmony to create a better society for future generations. My people are from Texas. We heard a beautiful historical tribute from somebody whose people are from Louisiana. A man got up and said, my grandfather was a longshoreman from Houston. My grandfather was a longshoreman from the Dallas area. We're just all one people.
Yes, yeah,
Stop trying to separate us up.
yeah.
Change us. You know, Renoco used to say, we go from snow to crow. We have all kind. Do you know that there are people my complexion in South Africa that have never seen a white man?
Wow.
Come on now. Come on now.
Teach.
There are people with straight hair who don't go to the shop.
Yeah.
In Africa. You know, we're multi.
Yes, yeah, teach good.
Poly.
Teach good.
Ethnic.
Yeah.
So it's talking about everything. Keep going. We're united hearts together. We need to get this. See, this is the symbol. Akoma Tuaso. Understanding, agreement. Linked hearts. Next slide. Now, when next time I go to Kemet, who knows when that will be, I want to go to this place. It's called Abu Ghraib. It sounds like that prison in Iraq. But that's the place where the Hotep is. I don't know if you can see the Hotep in that. Do you see? It's okay. You got it, David. All four sides, and it's you.
See it. Okay.
It's you. And doesn't it look like the Ankoma Ntoso?
It does.
You know, it's a symbol meaning united hearts. It's a symbol of agreement, togetherness, unity, working together as a community, supporting each other in our endeavors. You know, so if Ile-Omide is succeeding, we're succeeding.
Yes.
In Sacramento.
Yeah. Yeah.
Come on.
You know, Sugar D has a preschool, and Minister Makalisi and Akanke went there, and Minister Makalisi was impressed by the couple of youth that were there when they were there, how well that they spoke to each other, that they knew their symbols, he knew what a parallelogram was. He was like 3.
Yep.
Working together as a community, supporting each other in our endeavors continues to prove to be one of the best ways for us to move forward as a people. Next slide. See, and this is, so I'm gonna go there, David, and sit on there. Somebody take my picture. This is an altar. It's a pedestal building shaped the words May Ra, this is Ra. And there's a documentary, it's called The Pyramid Code. It's 4 parts. And the Westerners are impressed with, they don't know how they were able to create this. What tools did they use? They don't know. But you can see David already picked it out. See, this is Hotep here. This is how you would write Hotep. But Hotep does not only mean peace. It means sacrifice. It means offering.
Okay.
Yes. So here is a sacrificial table showing you. Central part shaped to symbolize the sun, while the four slabs around resemble the hieroglyphic sign offering or rest. The whole meaning may Ra or Ray, I would say Ra, be satisfied. Next. Oh, I don't want you to forget this. Do not hurl a lance if you cannot aim it correctly. You know, don't talk about somebody. You don't know what's wrong with them.
Right.
You don't know what's going on.
Right.
You don't know what they've been through.
Yes. Come on now.
You don't know what they're going through. Do not do evil to a person and thus cause another to do it to you. Let your generosity reach one who needs. Don't be stingy, for wealth is no real security. Speak the truth to everyone. You know, if you speak the truth to everyone, then you don't have to remember what you said.
True. Come on now.
If you just say the truth, then you have to, what did I tell? Speak the truth to everyone. Let it cling to your speech. Do not do to a person that which what you dislike and cause another to do it to you.
Come on now.
But this is the main one. But I wanted to show you the same thing in this totality. But the main sentence in this, for me, in this message, those who struggle together with the people of their town will rejoice in victory with them.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah.
Next. Now, I saw some things in the email, and they was talking about the NFL and football. I done left that.
That man.
My kids played soccer. You know, Ra, he's about to finish his residency. He's still playing soccer. Kaba was an All-American. He played on the national team. And so we started watching EPL, English Premier League. And when Ra was playing, it was this guy named Thierry Henry. Ra looked a lot like him. You know, one of our friends was Nigerian. Ra cut his locks. He said, "Oh, he looks like Thierry Henry." So we started watching Arsenal play. And then when as Kaba got bigger, he looked like this guy from Ivory Coast. His name was Didier Drogba. Remember Drogba? Played for Ivory Coast. He played for Chelsea. And then after they graduated, then I started liking Liverpool. And Liverpool had these two guys on it. One of them was Sadio Mane, and the other one, and he's still playing on Liverpool now. His name is Mo Salah. He's from Egypt.
Salah.
And he was such a great soccer player, footballer. Look at what he does. He's from Senegal. Somebody was clowning him. He had a phone. I think the thing was broke. The phone was cracked. Well, you know, Mane, you make all this money. He said the phone works. He said, what do I need with all these nice phones when I could be funding a hospital, $600,000, building a school, $300,000, gives everybody in his village, everybody in his town, his village, $100 a month.
Come on.
And I don't know if you realize you should do this sometime because we just lost Omitola. Where's it? We lost Sister Omitola. She moved to Uganda and she passed away.
Yes.
And the only way that I knew about it is because I have WhatsApp. And that's how people communicate, in a foreign country. So I was on this group and they said she had gone. I think Nantambu might have pointed it out too. Is that right, man? Are you on? Anyway, somebody told me.
No, it wasn't me.
It wasn't you?
No.
Who it was. All right. It's good to know that you're there. All right. So, there was something about the exchange rate. It was massive. The dollar compared to like the money in Uganda or so, he's spending, this is a lot of money.
Yeah, it is.
In their money. You spend like 600,000, that must be like 20 million there. I mean, that's an exaggeration, but you have to look.
That's a lot. Right. Exchange rate is.
Look at it. He provides 4G internet to the village and he's building a post office. This is United Hearts. This is Ankoma Untoso. All right, next. Again, as we get ready to close, the glyph for love is a farming tool, which means in order to love someone or some group or family members, you have to work at it. Or your church, or your committee, or your circle, or your school board administrators. You have to cultivate it.
Yes.
You have to cultivate it. Next slide. Akoma Ntoso, United Hearts, understanding, agreement. Myrrh, to love. Hotep. Hotep is really sacrifice. In this case, is sacrifice. You have to be, you have to sacrifice. Look what Thondiwe did today.
Yeah. Beautiful.
This is sacrifice.
Yes.
This place, forgive me, I know I say stuff and then I'm gonna hear about it later. But I haven't seen this place look this good and I don't know how.
Never.
Well, yeah, you say that now. I'm gonna get an email. I know. Somebody's gonna text me. But I have to show Marie E2. All right, I love you. Next slide.
Oh. Beautiful.
Sugar D sent these pictures to me.
Yeah.
These are hearts united. Never met Makalisi. These are people on the screen.
Yeah.
For like, well, basically, you had never met Sugar D. No. She's a person that's on the screen. But here they are.
On the screen with a heart.
On the screen with a heart. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. All right, next. So, and look at what Saraswati is doing. We meet, I know, it's 5:30. 5:30, Monday and Friday. Oh, wait a minute. I put some cards in the back. Okay, so if you yes, I'm on the table, get you a card so you can get the meeting ID. All right, you'll have it there. And Saraswati is on some yoga retreat this week. And so she sent me a note. Did you get this in the mail? Because people know that I might forget. But look, here, all these people, some of you may not know. Look, Alaman. Alaman's on our prayer list. Doris, Sudi. When I met him, he was Sudi, but you guys call him Damu. Ingina, Sydney, family of Omitola, Pam Tashaka, Ed Lucas's mother, Essie Lucas, the Goodlet family, Tashaka Muhammad. Tashaka Muhammad is somebody that went to school with Makalisi at Castlemont. And Makalisi was up there preaching one day, and Makalisi doesn't use any curse words or stuff. And afterwards, Tashaka came up to me and he said, Makalisi had never used no curse words. I went to high school with him. Anyway, he's having some kind of surgical procedure. He's on our prayer list. Steve Streeter, this is a brother in the group. Minister Lizelle Williams, Zarita's on our prayer list. Jabari Jahi's one of the early elders of Sacramento. Avante, we pray for him. We pray for the elders. We pray for Sugar D's family. We pray for Leon Teasley. We pray for the mentally ill. We pray for world peace. We pray for Ile Omade. And I just heard somebody say that they wanted to put somebody on the prayer list. Remind me to send that to you. This is what you do, okay? We are hearts united. Next slide. Oh, are you sick of this? Our subject today has been Akoma and Toso. United hearts, understanding, and agreement. Those who work together with the people of their town will rejoice in the victory with them. Ashe. Ashe. Next slide. Ashe. Ashe. Here. Come on, you can do better than that. Yes, no.
Baba, I need to make a correction. That freedom riding is from the Middle Kingdom, not the New.
Thank you.
All right. Let's once again recognize the speaker, our message delivered. I made a point, recognize him. Yes.
You gonna come recognize?
I'm pretty, and I didn't even eat a piece of meat yet. I'm stuffed. I mean, just literally stuffed. This has been an awesome service. And at the same time, we've been blessed to also know that in the last few services we've had 3 folks who expressed a desire to join. My nephew, who was also here, plans to join. He had to leave out for some family stuff. We are reaching out. We are touching some folks. Yet there may be someone, most of the folks I see here are already members, but there may be someone on Zoom. Maybe some folks in the hemisphere who would want to be a part of this community. The United Hearts, the coming together. When I was in Ghana, I got a complete outfit made in an ankle cloth. There's a whole village dedicated to just producing a dinkum. And then I also got an Adinka symbol that I brought back for my family.
Show off.
Yeah, I can't let that wear it all. It means coming together as one.
Oh.
And this is for my family. That's gonna be our family symbol. there is so much that he touched on, that he lifted up for us, that we need to carry with us. Because the power of the symbol, as expressed in Noma, is the power of the word. And these symbols are ancient issues of power that each of us needs to hold and take from here. Ain't gonna do no good if it ends all in here. The beauty of the sanctuary is that in this setting, we have been blessed. Haven't we been blessed today?
Yeah.
And we still got some good food to eat, which I tremendously look forward to. I brought even a little take-home thing. And hearing that we may have a whole bunch of extras was great news to me. Hey, I ain't straight. Plus, I even have a community center where we can drop some of this off if you want to. Okay, that's a part of the thing about coming together. And in the principle he said about don't be stingy, the reciprocity is you give that who's to needed so that you also receive what you need. It's the dynamic of Maat is that it's a mutual benefit. The spoken word should touch each of you, but it should also motivate you to touch somebody else. Ashe? Ashe. So because we didn't have anyone in the house that I think needs to be a member, is there anyone online that waved their fingers or put up their hands? Anyone over there, Jeremiah?
No, I'm not seeing nobody.
Okay. And another first that Baba Tai mentioned, along with our other firsts, this is the first service where young brother Jeremiah is held down. He volunteered. We saw him and said, I want to be a part of this. We're also going to get him a little.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Because young folks that want this
Yeah.
is a treasure. And so hopefully some more folks will see that and say, hey, there's a way I can contribute.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hotep is not just a sacrificial giving. It is a sharing of your gifts to the blessing of the whole.
He's a former Illinois student.
Come on now.
Yes. That's right.
Alumni. Yes.
Sister Julia, who also holds it down for us.
No, but she's there all the time. I want to talk about that just the first.
That's right.
Is that one of the reasons why he was inspired because he saw Jalea working here. Oh yeah, I ain't forgot. So let us spread the word. We'll say is about it. And I'm figuring out a way. I've already talked to one of my COE members. We're gonna figure a way where this place looking like this becomes more common.
Yes.
We got to rustle up some extra monies or whatever we can do. We're gonna have it looking like this more often. Because this can't be just a one-time deal. I don't know about y'all, but I love it when I see it like this. It makes me feel the spirit, even before we start talking. Ashe? Ashe. So now let us bring it together so we can wrap it all up and get to that good old eating. Well, some of y'all can go home, but I'm glad on eating. Yeah, I know.
Are they circling up, Baba?
Yeah. If we can, we could close in our ranks.
Really outdid yourself with found your way
Mama Keisha and all her crew.
And her sister Sylvia.
Sylvia, yes, she's outside.
Son Valentin.
Yes, everybody. Everybody ready for the thing? Sister Adeshina, yes.
Y'all ready? Yes. Okay, here we go.
Okay, we are all gonna sing. Lift every voice and sing. One.
Wait a minute, hold on.
All three verses?
I just want to say happy birthday to his brother. And how old are you, about 30?
44.
Wow.
Oh, way.
Well, when you're 66, everybody looks like
Birthday guy.
I know you know the song. Sing the first verse. Uplift your voice and sing. Just one. Lift every voice.
Hold on, bro. Gotta work the intro.
Lift every voice. Lift every voice.
vision, one faith, one destiny, one love, one love, one love, one God. Let us call upon the name of that one God as our ancestors and elders have done for countless generations, and for time immemorial, let us all say together. The most beautiful people on the face of this earth.